Construction Stories, Part 77. Outdoorsy. I've probably said this before many times, but a lot of the guys that I work with are very outdoorsy, just in the fact that they don't. I've met maybe two out of the, two, well, I won't say 200, maybe out of the 100, 150 people that I work with that I've met maybe two that actually play video games. The rest of them like to fish, they like to hunt, they like to hike, they like to barbecue and farm and do yard work and have boats and all this jazz. And that's all great and fine and dandy. But it just makes it kind of hard for people to relate. But, I mean, that's alright. I like a lot of that stuff too, just without the fishing part. But, aside from that, whatever. So whenever somebody does something like that, they come back to work and they just talk about it for days. They just go and they're like, oh, I went and did this and that and went up to this place. And some other guy's like, oh, how'd you get there? And he's like, oh, I went up I-90 and went west. And I'm sitting there like, wait, west? And then I just get lost and stop caring. But after I did a hike with a friend, I was just like, yeah, I went on a hike. It was really cool. And my foreman was like, oh, you went up by the place where I live. And I was like, yeah, cool, neat. And he's like, oh, yeah. And so yesterday he goes, hey, I got something for you. I got a book. It's really cool. And I'm like, great. It's probably going to be about how to cure beef jerky or something, which is really cool and I want to learn how to do. But, I just was not all that excited. I come to work, I set down my lunchbox, and where I set it down is this thing. And so I'm like, wait a minute. And so it's straight up like a topographical, it's a map that shows like everything of Washington. So I can just open it up to one of the page numbers, which correlates to the number that it says right here. And I can just open it up and be like, oh, this is right here, this is here, oh, what do you do? And so he straight up like comes over, he's like, yeah, check this out. And he's like, and goes straight to this exact page that he knows, and he, like, it wasn't this one, but, and he's like, and just like going through it and like reading off the names of all these rivers and roads, and I'm like, cool, that's actually kind of neat. But what this prompted in me is the fact that I've always wanted to have a big map type of thing, right? I've always wanted to just have a huge map of some place that I know and travel really well, and I want to be able to like look at it and have a mile be like an inch or something. I don't know. But what I realized with that is that if I like cut out each of those pages and then pasted them and like was really systematic and diligent about it, I could turn like my whole room into this amazing map of Washington, and I just think it's really cool. I mean, I'm probably not going to do it. I'll probably save it for when I have a place that's actually worth that. But it's just super cool to have such a detailed map that I can be like, oh, well, I need a place to go to and camp or something. And there's just this thing. It's like, oh, right here, bro. So, I mean, I guess that wasn't really a construction story, but it did happen at work. So I'm going to go with that. Look it. I'm really tired. I'm actually not that tired, but I'm still tired. And I'm just going to go take a shower, and I'm going to go to sleep, and I'm going to wake up tomorrow and go buy Eaters of the Dead, which is a book, which I got referenced to by a guy at work. And then I'm going to read it, and then go longboarding, because that's how I roll. Anyways, Have a wonderful night. I don't know I did that. Good night, guys.